And let's go load our brains.
Hi, I'm Jessica Proctor, lobbyist with the North Carolina Retired Governmental Employees Association, and welcome to our online advocacy training. Ask yourself, if advocacy is the answer, what is the question? Let's face it, we're living in an irrevocably changed world, one where doing business as usual is obsolete. But that doesn't mean that you and your role in advocating for what's important is obsolete. Your voice matters just as it did before the misfortunes of 2020. In fact, today it may matter even more. So again, if advocacy is the answer, what is the question? While advocacy is all about persuasion, helping shape people's opinions and actions regarding a particular issue, advocacy itself is a means to an end, and that end is to create positive change. In today's world, where public budgets are under pressure due to layered crises, advocating for yourself, an institution, group, or association isn't enough. You must have a clearly defined problem and know how to insert your advocacy efforts into the solution for that problem. Here are some thoughts as you begin your journey as a citizen advocate. There is no formal process in becoming an advocate. While we offer you guidelines and tools to help you in your role, your voice and concerns are the most important means you can have to advocate for your cause. And this isn't rocket science either. The very virtues and habits that you taught your children and teach your grandchildren apply when advocating. Using good manners with whom you speak, listening to concerns, engaging rather dictating conversations, and thanking those who took the time to talk. Prepare yourself with talking points, be honest. All these things will help you share a stronger message and build lasting relationships. Lastly, remember, Rome was not built in a day. Small wins paved the way to larger victories, but this could still take much longer than you would like. Advocates for Disabled Americans began organizing in the 1960s, but the Americans with Disabilities Act wasn't codified until 1990. Though we don't think your efforts will take decades, the pace of public policy is supposed to be impactful with long-lasting impacts and not mercurial or short-sighted.
Being a citizen advocate, so that's the goal. A lobbyist, ooh, there's a word that's got negative culture all around it, but don't give in to that negative stereotype. You know what? By the end of this course, not only are you going to know and like these lobbyists, there's a good chance you're going to be one too. Now look, this is a great team, but no team is better than their coach. So in my virtual classroom, let's introduce you to the team. First, it's the coach, Richard Rogers. He's the executive director of the North Carolina Retired Governmental Employees Association, and this guy, he's a scrapper. He's a fighter. He's good at what he does. And he's going to tell you about the governmental priorities and things like that a little bit later on. Now, he has assembled a group of lobbyists that is second to none. We're talking about some of the best in the business. Jack Cozort, also Jackson Cozort. We have got Kari Barsness and Jessica Proctor. Folks, this is the A-team, and they're going to teach you and give you the knowledge that you need so that you can be your own best citizen advocate.
Hi, I'm Richard Rogers, your Executive Director. I want to spend just a few minutes talking about advocacy and what it really means to me. I've had the pleasure, or maybe a better way to put this, is the challenge of working with the General Assembly for more than 25 years, advocating on environmental issues and land and water conservation. I've worked with the association for more than 5 years now, advocating on your behalf. Lobbying or advocacy begins with creating a relationship or rapport with your legislator or local elected official. Through that relationship, trust is gained. You must be honest in your communications to build trust. One key to building the relationship is listening. Understanding your elected officials and their positions on issues are critically important to being successful in your advocacy. Once you've established the relationship, there is the opportunity to educate and effectively inform legislators on issues of importance to you. So build that relationship and be an effective advocate.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of something called grassroots lobbying? You know what it is? Are you a part of it? Can you do it? Well, it is time for Corey to tell us all about grassroots lobbying.
As an actively engaged citizen of North Carolina, we encourage you to talk with your legislator to discuss any issues or concerns you have related to retirement. Further along in this presentation, you will find guidelines for writing your legislator, setting up meetings, and advice on how to approach your legislator to gain their trust so you can be an effective citizen advocate. Please note that during the pandemic, we are not encouraging face-to-face, in-person meetings with legislators. Grassroots lobbying is an incredibly powerful tool in advocacy. You may wonder why that is so important. While the association provides a solid foundation through our lobbying efforts, the local connection to legislators is critical to make the issue both personal and local. Grassroots lobbying is a constituent communicating with their elected official about concerns they have. Elected officials want your vote, therefore, they are very responsible to constituents' needs and concerns. As a member of the association, you fill an important role in ensuring that the association's legislative goals are achieved. Through our website on the Government Relations tab, we provide tools you need to contact your local and legislative members. You will also find helpful tips, including sample letters, to help you get started in advocating for retiree issues. Additionally, the association is always ready to help you in your advocacy role. So please contact us if you have any questions or concerns that you want to discuss. Also on the Government Relations tab, there are direct links to contact information for local and state elected officials, making it easy to find your representative. The association is here to help you determine who that is. Remember, regardless of the type of interaction, whether by phone, letter, email, or a face-to-face meeting, contacting elected officials is critical to achieving the association goals.
Hi, I'm Jack Cozort. The first year I worked in the General Assembly was 1971 as an intern for what is now the State Chamber of Commerce. Since then, I've worked with Governor Hunt, the court system, and with a variety of other entities such as this association. I have been an advocate for this association and its members for the last 23 years.
Technology. It's changing all the time. Some people think it's more difficult. Some people think it's getting simpler. But the truth of the matter is we have got to keep up to date, especially in these changing times. So, right now it is time for Jackson to tell us all the ways that we can stay informed.
Ways to keep informed. One is through us. Throughout the year, our organization, NCRGEA, sends out updates and alerts as the legislative session progresses. But remember, you cannot be updated if we do not have your email. So if you haven't done it yet, please shoot us an email at info@ncrgea.com so that we have all of your up-to-date contact information. And plus, we would also just love to hear from you. Another great way to stay informed is our NCRGEA website. Make sure that you go to the Government Relations tab to keep up with all the current updates and tools that you are going to need to contact your elected officials. Also, another great way in these modern times is in recent years, NCRGEA has made amazing steps forward in staying completely up to date in this ever-evolving world of social media. So please feel free to follow us on Facebook. We have a channel on YouTube and on Twitter.
What does advocacy mean to me? Hi, I'm Jessica Proctor, and I spend a lot of my working life looking for ways to improve retiree quality of living. I've had the great blessing of working to better the lives of North Carolinians, both inside the legislature and out, throughout most of my career. Working with the NCRGEA is no exception to this. Advocacy for me is one of the best words in the English language. Advocacy is so much more than lobbying. It's our human call to live out the golden rule. We advocate for our children and grandchildren. We advocate for our parents, our spouses, our neighbors, our friends. We advocate for those whom we don't even know, those lacking in voice or ability to advocate for themselves. We are all collectively called to advocate every single day to make our communities better. Lucky for me, I get paid to do this as well. As a public affairs professional, there is nothing better than to help champion a way to improve the lives of the people of North Carolina. Again, and I hope you agree with me, advocacy is indeed one of the best words in the English language. Thank you for letting me share this moment with you.
How many times have I heard, son, you got to get your priorities right? And that's good advice. And even here at the North Carolina Retired Governmental Employees Association, we've got to have our priorities right, especially when it comes to legislative matters. That's why right now Richard is going to take us through our legislative priorities.
I want to spend a couple minutes talking about our legislative priorities. Our legislative priorities are developed through our Government Relations Committee for each legislative biennium and then updated between the long and short sessions of that biennium. We are currently in the process of finalizing our 2021-2022 legislative priorities, and they will be made available in the new year on our website. I do want to give you a general overview of our priorities for the coming year. Protect retiree pension values. This is always our top priority. Attaining a COLA for retirees has been extremely challenging because the pension system has not produced investment gains for a COLA, which is how the system was designed. Also, the General Assembly has not elected to spend the $500 million it costs for a 1% COLA for state retirees. So we are also pursuing other ways to protect retiree pension values by reducing their tax liabilities. We'll provide more on this as we finalize our priorities. Our second priority is maintaining and strengthening the defined benefit plan for current and future state and local retirees. Our focus here is to ensure our defined benefit system remains viable over the long term, and there is no attempt to change the system to a defined contribution system. Our third priority is to provide an annually required contribution for the pension systems and the state health plan. These contributions are the base amounts of funds